Haven't you heard of the line from the Bible that give to Caesar what is Caesar's and to God what is God's? This is the kind of function that an article does. Your chapter on articles, part 1. The article divides nouns and teaches them how to behave in a sentence. We have separate articles for nouns beginning with a consonant sound and nouns beginning with a vowel sound. We also have separate articles for speaking about something specific. The article is very simple. The article is very useful. The article is present in most sentences to specify things. The article comes before nouns. The article defines with the definite article. The article undefines with the indefinite article. The articles are a, an, and the. The article a is used before consonant sounds. The article an is used before vowel sounds. The article the is used when we have to point to something specific. So, let's get into and learn and familiarize ourselves with the articles and their uses. Let's put them into sentences. Now, I'll be writing out a few sentences on the board, and let's see how these sentences behave and how they are meant to fulfill the function that they are created for, right? So let's move into the first sentence as an example. A boy walked into the classroom. A boy walked into the classroom. I'm typing out another sentence along with this. An elephant walked onto the circus stage. So these are two sentences for you. A boy walked into the classroom and an elephant walked onto the circus stage. Now, both these sentences begin in a different way. The first sentence with a and the second sentence with an. Now, both a and an or a and an are indefinite articles. Here, how are they used? A or a as it is pronounced is, let me just underline that for you. or highlight that for you. And here, so a and an are two indefinite articles which are used in front of nouns. So that is rule number one. The indefinite articles are used in front of nouns to specify nouns, to speak about them. Now, also look at a here and look at the noun that comes after a. It's a boy. We can also say a toy, a door, a biscuit, a book, a wall, a bat, a, a train. Now, if you look at the behavior of the nouns or the pattern of the nouns that follow the indefinite article a pronounced as you find that all the nouns that follow them begin with a consonant sound. So that is rule number two. A is the indefinite article that specifies or comes before a noun, and the noun would begin with a consonant sound. Now, here we'll go on to the next example for the other indefinite article, the. An elephant walked on to the circus stage. We are talking about an elephant. I can also use an to specify or to speak about certain nouns like an angel, an example, an afternoon, an apple, an umbrella, an assembly, etc. Now look at these phrases here. An angel, an example, an afternoon, an apple, an umbrella, an assembly, and an elephant. Now here, all the nouns that follow the indefinite article an begin with a vowel sound. So we have two indefinite articles, a and an. A pronounced as a mostly uses or comes before comes before nouns that begin with a consonant sound. And an, the other indefinite article, comes before nouns that begin with a vowel sound. So we cannot say a angel or an cloud. This you would understand, right? So this is not to be used with a cannot be used with a vowel sound, nor can an be used with a noun beginning with a consonant sound. Now, we come to another significant rule. Now, okay, a and an, we know their place. Now, suppose we say a books instead of a book. Suppose we use a books. Now, can this be used in this way? Can we say a books? Can we also say an apples instead of an apple? These are two questions that could come before us. What would our answers be? What would our answers be? Can this be used in this way? Well, no. You know that this is not big news to you. A and an can only be used in front of countable nouns and singular nouns. So you cannot have a coming with a plural noun. Hmm? Now, can you also say along with that, um, can you use a, the indefinite article a, with a sugar? I mean, can you use it like this? Can you say a sugar? Can you say a bread? Can you say a um, something that is a joy? Okay, a news. Can you say that? The same way, can you use the other indefinite article an to say an enjoyment? Or an information? Can it be used in this way? An enjoyment, an information, etc. Now, so we see certain things that should be done and certain things that cannot be done. So, for one, we use the indefinite articles a and an in certain specific contexts. A and an are to be used separately. That's what I said. Give unto God what belongs to God, and to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So a has to be used, the indefinite article a, which is pronounced mostly as a, will be used by us in front of a noun that begins with a consonant sound. The article an will be used by us in front of a noun that begins with a vowel sound. Not only that, rule number two says that the indefinite article a and an will be used in front of countable nouns. So let me just write that for you. I'll use short forms wherever possible. So we have a coming before, I'll put this in inverted commas so that it doesn't confuse you, comes before nouns beginning with a consonant sound. We have the other indefinite article. So let me, yes, and comes before nouns beginning with a vowel sound. Comes before nouns beginning with a vowel sound. The next set of rules, again, they come as two rules. For example, a article, the indefinite article a comes before. In fact, that rule is applicable to both a and an. Comes before singular nouns. Before singular nouns and countable nouns. That is almost the same, countable nouns. So singular or countable nouns. A and an come before singular nouns, countable nouns. So if I say an apple, it is fine. At the same time, if I say an enjoyment, it is wrong. A sugar is wrong. A bread is wrong. A news is wrong. And information is also wrong. So, how should they be used? When I say a sugar, I better write, or rather, I must write specified. That is, a cube of sugar. All right? A slice of bread. A piece of news. This is the way it should be used. Coming to the second set, with an, I must say an apple, which is correct. I must say an enjoyment. I must not say an enjoyment. Again, I cannot say an information. So both of them are wrong. So what should I do? I will cross them out. You cannot say this. Is that clear? So an enjoyment is not to be used. You can substitute it with the indefinite article a and say a bout of enjoyment or a moment of enjoyment. You can also substitute information, use it with the other indefinite article a and say a piece of information. So that kind of usage, you a and an come before nouns beginning with the consonant sounds and comes before nouns with the beginning with a vowel sound, and a and they come before singular countable nouns. So this is one side of it. Now we also have to look at of whether they have other meanings. For example, um, when I say, if I say, let me come here. Yes. Now the indefinite article a, pronounced as an, has other meanings also when it appears in sentences. For example, let me give you a sentence. I am looking for a man with a good knowledge of English. I'm looking for a man with a good knowledge of English. Now here I put the I think I'll color the for you here. Mm. A man. I'll put it in bold letters. In bold letters. Okay. So I am looking for a man with a good knowledge of English. Now look at the first here, which I'll color for you maybe. So here, the first here, it stands for any man, right? Any man with a good knowledge of English. Now, what about the second article, indefinite article? Repeat, the second A in the sentence. Now, here it means some or a kind of knowledge of English. So, I'm looking for any man with some kind of good knowledge of English. Now, in the same way, in let's go to certain phrases like, let me just look up the examples. Yes, a dog. This is a sentence anyway. Is a domestic animal. So we have a sentence here. A dog is a domestic animal. Now here, a dog. A means here, a means any dog or every dog. It's a common, it covers the common category of dogs, the family of dogs in a way, every dog. Now, another sentence, he does not, no, he did not tell us a word about his marriage. He did not tell us a word about his marriage. Now, here, look at the word, the indefinite article a, which I'm coloring for you again. Now, he did not tell us a word about his marriage. A here means single, a single word. Single, here, a dog means any, every dog. A man here means any man, and the other one, the other a in the sentence means a kind of. Now, let's go on to another sentence. A cup and a, no, a cup and saucer fell from the table. A cup and saucer fell from a table. A cup and saucer. When you say a cup and saucer here, it means a set. It's a set. The cup and the saucer fell together. Now, in another sentence, our boss is a Hitler in office. Our boss is a Hitler in office. Now here, the in this sentence would mean any kind of Hitler. See, our boss is a Hitler in office, meaning a kind of. He's some kind of a Hitler in office. So here there are a few different ways or different meanings that emerge when you use a in sentences. the indefinite article in sentences. So I hope this is clear for you. The way a is used in sentences to mean slight variations of, you know, in variations in meaning. Okay. Now we come to an. We come to an, and we know that an is used before a vowel sound. We also know that the indefinite article an is used before singular countable nouns. Keep that in mind. I'll just write that for you so that it keeps repeating in our heads. Countable nouns. Then let's put them into sentences. Put an into sentences. Um, Jenkins. See, I've given you examples, or I've used examples from the text itself so that it will be familiar to you. Jenkins lost an ear in the quarrel. Lost an ear in the quarrel. Now, there is another sentence which has the same pronunciation almost. It sounds the same, but there we cannot use an. For example, I met him a year ago. I met him a year ago. Now, here, an year and a year. Two phrases here, an year and a year. Now, how is it that, though, we know by usage or by experience that an can only be, I mean, ear, the EAR can only take an. I mean, you only use the indefinite article an before a word that begins with EAR because E is a vowel sound. And a year, I met him a year ago. There, though YEAR is almost pronounced like EAR, there is a difference that Y is a consonant sound. And so we use a before that. I hope that is clear. So our rule is confirmed. The indefinite article is used before singular countable nouns. Now, let us now see whether we can say something as definite as that about the definite article the. The definite article the we is used mostly to refer to something particular. So it could be a particular person, place, or thing. So, a particular person, place, or thing. When we need to speak about all this, we use the definite article, the. You know this very clearly. So, when I say a sentence like, let's go to the park, I mean the park that is situated right next to my house or in the neighborhood, something that is very near me, or something which the other person knows I'm talking about. So let's go to the park. In that case, there would be only one park somewhere around or near my house. Now, at the same time, so I hope that is clear about something that is particular, something that you know about, and something that is very near. So the speaker knows exactly what I'm saying and which park I'm referring to. The speaker knows it exactly. So it's only in that case that you can use the definite article the. All right? Now, if I use another or give you another sentence like the horse is a noble animal. Now, if I give you a sentence like the horse is a noble animal, I would be referring the horse here would not mean the horse here would not mean just one horse or the horse that is standing in front of me or walking along on the road or something like that. The horse here would mean the whole um, species of horse. The idea of all the horses in the world. So, all the horses in the world is signified by this one term, the horse. So, it means something universal in a way. Any horse in any part of the world is noble. So, it means the class, the whole class of horses. So, this is another idea. Now, I can give you another example like this. The rose is the sweetest of all flowers. The rose is the sweetest of all flowers. Here, the rose is again a class of flowers from the rose is a class of roses in the sense any rose colored yellow or white or pink or red or is there any other color for a rose? Anyway, all the roses of all types is included within this phrase, the rose. So I hope that is clear too, which about this other function of the. So The is used here. In the third usage, it is used before proper nouns. Before proper nouns, meaning, let's look at how it's used before names of seas, like the black, the Black Sea, it is used before rivers, you know. Um, you can say the Ganges, meaning the Ganga. You've heard about it, right? The Yamuna and the Saraswati. The Ganga, the Yamuna, the Ganges, or the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the Saraswati. So it's used before rivers. You can use the before or to point out to islands, groups of islands. Islands like the West Indies. The West Indies. Now, the also comes before unique things. Unique things like you have the sun or the sea or the ocean, etc. You can have the used before proper nouns. Before proper nouns meaning names. Before proper nouns, sorry. Before proper nouns. For example, I could say the Mr. Bose. The Mr. Bose you met yesterday. You met yesterday. The Mr. Bose you met yesterday is a teacher or lives in my neighborhood. So that is another use for the definite article the. Again, you can use the before superlatives. Superlatives, you know what superlatives are, right? So you could say superlatives would be the positive, comparative, and the superlative. Much more, most, good, better, best, etc. Sweet, sweeter, sweetest, perfect, more perfect, most perfect. So those are the positive, comparative, and superlative degrees. So you have the being used before superlatives. For example, I could say the sweetest, the sweetest choice, or the loveliest girl, the loveliest girl. So it can be used before superlatives. Now, it is also used before names of musical instruments. Used before names of musical instruments like the flute, the violin, the guitar, etc. So I hope this rule about the usage of the definite article the is also clear. We can use the in front of a whole class to signify a whole class of animals or flowers, etc. The ocean is dangerous, or the sea is unforgiving. Now, if you use it, it would signify all the horses, all the roses, all the oceans, and all the seas. Now, it comes before proper nouns. Proper nouns like, as we said earlier, the Mr. Bose, or the Miss, the Miss Sarah. The Miss Sarah you're talking about is or was my classmate in school. You can use the before names of seas like the Black Sea. You can use the before rivers, the Ganges, the Yamuna, the Saraswati. You can use the before groups of islands, the West Indies, before unique things, the sun, the sea, the ocean. You can use them before proper nouns. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a repeat. You can use them before superlatives. The sweetest choice, the loveliest girl, sweetest, loveliest, best, the best. Don't we all just say, he is, she is the best? So you can use it before superlatives, you can use it before musical instruments. So these are more or less the rules that accompany the usage of the definite article the. Now, where all now the next let me just see whether yes. So you now according to this, we could frame a few rules for our definite articles also. Where and all do we use the definite article? I'm sorry, the indefinite articles that we have. Now, here there is one I could mark it out for you. We use the indefinite articles when we want to to refer to the the idea of one, single. When we want to refer to the idea of one or the idea of single, we use uh, an indefinite article. Okay, there are examples for you here. One, the first example, a rose is a beautiful flower. A rose is a beautiful flower. Now, going again to another example with the same rose, the rose is a beautiful flower. This would be, why is it not changing? Two. Uh-oh. Now this is two, okay? Okay, oh, that's why maybe. Now the next one is roses are beautiful flowers. Roses are beautiful flowers. Now, these three sentences where you have one, just wanted to put it as two, and come to three. Roses are beautiful flowers. A rose is a beautiful flower. The rose is a beautiful flower. And roses are beautiful flowers. Now, do you think there is any change of meaning between the three sentences? Do you get the same idea from the three sentences? I think they do signify more or less the same idea. They mean the same. So, here in the first, a rose, here it comes before the rose here is a common noun, right? It's not a proper noun, it's a common noun which refers to any category of roses or any group of roses or all the roses that are ever there in the world. So here it comes before a common noun and it is in the singular form. So there's no doubt about that. The singular countable form has to be used after the indefinite article a or an, right? And you cannot say an rose because an is only accompanied by nouns which begin with vowel sounds. Now, in the second sentence, the rose is a beautiful flower. Here, the definite article, the, it generalizes a common noun. It generalizes the common noun. A rose is a beautiful flower. The rose is a beautiful flower. They refer to common nouns. And yet another, so this is another rule between, regarding uh, the articles, which shows the difference between the indefinite a and the definite the. Indefinite a and the definite the is that when, for the first, when you refer to something, um, you use the definite article a, while we use the definite article the to refer to something in the future, for future reference. Uh, for example, um, I hope this is clear. A rose and the rose and roses. Now we come to this next rule that is there. Um, Here we try to bring out the difference between a and the. So we have the indefinite article a and the definite article the. So if we put them into a few sentences, this is what we'll realize. A man was riding a bicycle. A man was riding a bicycle along a country road. This is your first sentence. A man was riding a bicycle along a country road. Now we go to sentence number two. We have to refer to this same man. So would we say a man was riding a bicycle along a country road? A man was also uh, the a man who was also who was riding the bicycle along the country road stopped at a hotel. Now, if or a restaurant, if we want to say that, would we repeat a man again? We would not. We would not, right? We would prefer to write it as the man. We begin the next sentence with the man who was riding the bicycle along the country road stopped at a restaurant. The man who was riding a bicycle along the country road stopped at a restaurant. So these two sentences here, where in the first sentence you refer to a man being any man who was riding along a country road. A man, any man from any part of the country, from any nationality, any culture, any society, was just riding a bicycle along a country road. Now, in the second sentence, we specify that it was the man. We are talking about one man, and that man who was riding the bicycle along the country road stopped at a restaurant. So that is specifying this man. So I hope this is clear. Specifying or referring to one particular man. So it can both generalize, be used in front of common nouns, like in the earlier sentence, you had a rose where it was a common noun. Here, a man is also a common noun. So the indefinite article a can be used like this before common nouns, but when the moment you want to specify what the noun, specify it and say something particular about it, you need to use the definite article. All right. Now we come to need to get an idea about pronunciation. How do you pronounce, or what is the rule? Now that's another rule, the pronunciation rule. We'll name it the pronunciation rule. Now here, the idea is the is just one in use. The definite article the is just one in use, in the sense the is used as the same. It is the same the that is used in front of vowels or consonants. The same the, just one in use before vowels or consonants. But so let me give you an example. The book, the elephant. You have the you being used before book and elephant. Now, the difference here between the, as it is used in front of a consonant sound, noun beginning with a consonant sound, and a noun beginning with a vowel sound, the only difference here would be in pronunciation. For example, you would be saying the book, but the elephant. The book and the elephant, the cloud and the example. So the becomes the. The becomes the when you have when you have a vowel sound. When you have a vowel sound coming after it. Huh? So it is the elephant. While if the is followed by a consonant sound like the book, you have the being pronounced as the and not the. So the is pronounced as the in front of nouns beginning with consonant sounds, and the is pronounced as the when it comes before nouns beginning with vowel sounds. So you have the boy crying for his mother and the angel looking out to bless you. Okay, so that is our example, and we come to certain additional rules. We're just reaching the end of our class. I just want to bring out certain additional rules uh, that are there for our definite article. Additional rules for the definite article. Certain additional rules for the definite article. Rule number one, the definite article does not talk about general things mostly. Talk about general things mostly, except when it talks about a common category. That is an exception for this rule. Mostly, but common category would be an exception for this rule. So it talks about general things mostly, and otherwise, the other thing it talks about is the common category of nouns. Then the Singular, singular, countable nouns are usually used with the singular countable nouns. Singular countable nouns are usually used with the. I don't know how this color came. Make it white. So singular countable nouns are usually used with the. And we have just one more rule. 3. A or an, which are the indefinite articles, we use them to speak about a profession, about a particular profession. When I mean profession, professions are of different categories. So definitely you can have a particular profession like the profession of a teacher. So you can say she is a professor. So there, a or an, it speaks about a particular person's profession. So these additional rules, the definite article does not talk about general things mostly, except when it talks about a common category. Singular countable nouns are usually used with the. That is our rule which we learned earlier. This is just summarizing. And a or an speaks about a particular. You can use the indefinite articles to speak about a particular profession, like she is a professor. These are most of the rules that are associated with the use of the indefinite and the definite articles. We have one more section to go in articles, which will soon come to you. I hope this was easy to understand and hope you remember what you just learned. Thank you.